Am I the ass for canceling my wedding after my fiancé cheated on me with the guy she told me she hates? So, this is quite a long and sad story that I need to vent as it is really hard for me to deal with so far. I, 24M, recently proposed to my now ex-fiancé 23F after 2 years of dating. We met by mutual friends at work. We started talking as friends, we went on dates, and on New Year's Eve we officially started dating. During the beginning of our relationship she mentions this guy, Marvin. According to her, Marvin has always have a crush on her, and during the first months of our relationship, he texted her several times asking her to leave me and give him a chance. We used to say how pathetic this guy was and how she despises him for suggesting she would leave me for him. I must clarify I'm nothing special, I'm a 5 feet 4 inches Asian nerdy guy. Time goes by and after 2 years on dating I decided to propose to her. So on New Year's Eve I gave her the ring and she say yes in front of her whole family. I have some money saved. She doesn't work. So I started looking for venues, catering, invitations, decor and everything. I spended a high amount of money as her parents are not in the position to help with the expenses and I have enough savings to go through this comfortably. One day, while we're running errands we started talking about having a threesome. We are in our 20s so there's a lot of things we want to try. We discussed for a while on how we could find someone and she quickly says, "I have someone on mind." I asked who and she replies with, "Marvin." I know that was the first red flag, but I let it pass. I asked why him and she just answered she was sexually attracted to him. I asked about why she would say she hate him first and then choose him as her first option for a threesome, and she replies, "This is only a one-time thing." So I told her it was okay but we needed to talk later to set rules, limits, and I would like to talk to him personally before giving the green light. During the next couple of days she's acting really excited and she comes to me to show me hotels, and when are we going to meet with him and how exciting everything is. I told her we need to talk things first as it is not as easy as it sounds and we need to have some limits. After that she calmed down for a day or two and started to bring the subject up again. We reached a point where she insisted so much, and bring the subject up so many times, I ended up saying to her that she either calm down or no threesome is going to happen. She apologized and mentioned I was right but something didn't feel right. That afternoon we were having a nap and while she was sleeping, I went through her phone, and I found how she was cheating on me with him for a couple months now. They have been meeting while I was working and she even sent them one of those BDSM tests you can find online to see if his kinks matched with hers. To say I was furious is an understatement. She woke up while I was checking the phone and I confronted her. She started crying saying she was sorry, and how she didn't knew what she was doing. I packed my things and stormed out to stay at a hotel. That night I got a call from her parents saying how I was ruining the engagement and acting as a baby while I was the one who bring the topic of the threesome, and how her daughter wasn't at fault. I hung up without saying anything and started canceling everything I had for the wedding. She called me the next day apologizing and asking me to come back. Her whole family is sending texts asking me to man up, as I was the one at fault, and not to break the engagement. Update. Hey guys. Thanks for everyone's advice, I appreciate the support and the mean comments. Both perspectives were helpful. Now, let me address just a few things before continue. Yes, the post have grammatical errors. English is not my first language. My ex stopped working to go to college. We met at work but she quit once we move in together. Yes, my now ex-fiancé told her parents we were breaking up because I suggested the threesome and got mad when she mentioned Marvin. And her parents believed her. Yes, I needed reassurance to make sure I was not the one in fault. I have been conditioned all my life to be a doormat, so it is hard to stand for myself. Here's the update. After seeing all your messages, I reached to my father-in-law, so he agreed to meet at a nearby mall to talk about the reasons why I broke the engagement. I did have a good relationship with him as we both share the same interests and hobbies, so I figured we could have a conversation. We met, and even though he looked mad, he agreed to listen. I took screenshots of the conversations my ex-fiancé had with Marvin and I showed them to him. After looking at everything he told me, my ex gave them a totally different story. According to what he told me, my ex went to them crying, saying I was breaking the engagement because I wanted to have a threesome, and once she picked Marvin as the third, I snapped at her. He also mentioned Marvin has been going to check on my ex since my ex has been staying with them after we broke up. We went to my apartment and packed all of her belongings to move her out. The ring was at the apartment as well, so I kept it. We're on our way to drop everything to her right now. I will keep you guys updated. Update 2. Hey guys, I'm back. I know y'all have been waiting for this update. I had to create a new account because I got shadow banned on the other one. I apologize for the delay. So after picking my ex's belongings, me and my father-in-law drove to his house. The ride there was awkward to say the least. When we get there, we walked in and we saw my mother-in-law, my ex, and guess who else? Exactly, fucking Marvin. They were all at the living room. My ex looked like she had been crying for a while. Marvin was hugging her and Mil was seated next to her with a box of tissues. My Mil saw me enter and started asking father-in-law what I was doing there. He responded, "We all need to talk about the situation," and he came to clarify some things. We all sat down and Marvin was about to leave the room when father-in-law said, "No, please stay. You're part of this too." Marvin sat down, but you could see he was not holding well. His right leg was bouncing and he tried his best not to make eye contact with me or my ex. Father-in-law started saying that I accepted to continue with the engagement, which made mother-in-law and my ex smile. However, I had one condition. Marvin must show him his WhatsApp conversation with my ex to him. At that moment, I was shocked. I was about to argue, however I understood something. Most likely my ex had deleted the convo with Marvin, but there was a chance Marvin didn't. Marvin tried to protest, but my father-in-law insisted and asked him to do this for her daughter. My ex and Marvin glanced at each other and my mother-in-law was quietly looking at father-in-law. Finally, after that, Marvin stood up and left without saying anything else. My ex started crying again and her father told her to shut up. He said, I had shown him screenshots of their conversations and he was disappointed to raise a cheating slut. Her mother was in disbelief, so I showed her the screenshots too. They both screamed at her, how could she do something like that on top of lying to their faces? At the end, her father went to unload her belongings in the driveway and told her to look for some other place to stay as she wasn't welcome there anymore. Her father apologized to me and told me he would like to keep in touch to make sure I was okay. I came back home after all of that, feeling empty. I think it was the adrenaline wearing off. I got one call of my ex but I didn't answer. I blocked the number. I posted on FB and Instagram about what happened and made sure to post the screenshots of the conversation to make sure she cannot twist the situation with friends and family. I got most of my money after canceling the venue, catering and other stuff, so I'm planning to move to another state. I got some STD test done and I'm clean. And I'll be selling the ring to get my money back. So far that's the update. I don't think I will update any more on this, but I want to thank everyone who has supported me, whether through messages or just by caring enough to check in. It means the world. Thank you. If you like the story, don't forget to leave a comment and support the channel by subscribing. See you in the next story.